Let me see you put 'em up. Reach the sky, touch the stars up above, cause it's...
Are you a
Sir, the
Valuetainer?
hotel meet one number is not on WhatsApp, sir. I want to meet you.
How are you?
Sir, I'm fine.
What's your name?
My name is Nakul, sir. I'm a dental student. I've messaged you a lot of times. You have told me that to read the book Blue Ocean Strategy.
Very cool. You read that.
Yeah, sir.
Very
I'm in the process. I've just started.
Excellent. So you were going to the IIT event, the summit
Yeah, sir.
event?
Actually, I just attended your summit just for you.
One time for the underdog. One time for the underdog. You got the world on your team. Even if that ain't what it seems. It's one time for the underdog.
Go, we're off to India.
Yes, we are.
Have a safe trip.
Yeah, and I saw you passing, I'm like, oh my god, it's Facebook.
It's great when you see people who follow the content and do something with it. It's a great feeling.
Wish you a happy Republic Day for India.
That's what I hear. It's exciting.
That's
Very exciting.
All right, I'll
Okay,
to go,
which
please.
way, this way?
Yes.
For those who are wondering, there are exotics here. Not just in America.
Excuse me, sir. Could you just type down the address, please?
Mulund slums.
Okay, Marriott. Okay.
Hello, Patrick. My name is Eric, and I am an entrepreneur. I sketched out my own merchandise logo. I am number one fan, and have a nice day, and follow your dreams.
I love it. I clearly remember you. I love the fact that you're so determined to go out there and win big. Keep reading, keep learning, and keep trying new things until one of them becomes a hit for you. But I'm excited for you, man. Proud of you. Keep it going. That lady that was with us,
Aarti.
Artie, had lived in those slums her entire life. She was born in the slums. Yeah, Artie, we got her some books. She
Okay.
said she wanted some TVs
Okay.
and a projector to be able to
I was
teach.
there. I was there when she was talking.
Yeah, she wanted a projector and a
I love reading. I mean, I picked up the habit because that was my dad's hobby, and I read everything from fiction to non-fiction. It didn't matter what. And then once I finished all the books at home, I used to join libraries because at that point in time there was no concept of Kindle. I'm very good at trying to figure out where I spend my time because I think that's one of the most valuable assets, resources.
How do you process that?
So I generally am aware of where I'm spending time. So for example, I still read a lot. So I would say I spend somewhere between 800 to 1,000 hours a year reading something. I realized that books have 200-300 pages. They don't need 200-300 pages. But if you basically made a 20-page book, people wouldn't pay as much for it.
But that's an interesting idea of 20-page book. Can you imagine that?
I cliff notes for everything, right? But that's how I read it then.
India, beautiful country. You got 1.2 billion people here, right? Lots of culture. I grew up as a kid. This can be funny too. I don't even know how this. I grew up in Iran, and we used to watch a movie. The song "Din Nigidana, Dan Nigidana." I don't even know what movie is that.
I know.
Bichak dana, dane o par dana, ichak dana.
I'm watching this with my mom and dad. My mom and dad, there was this scene they would always say, you don't need to watch this scene. I said, what is it? It says, well, that man is freezing. It's cold. He's about to die. So they have to do something. So the man and the woman would both stay warm. I said, Mom, what is that? So you don't need to know right now. It wasn't a movie.
I've always been passionate about flying. In fact, most things that are fast. If it flies, I want to fly it. And I have, I've been fortunate enough where over time I've built up resources that have allowed me to try everything. So, paragliding and trikes and helicopters and single-engine planes and multi-engine planes and jets and aerobatic planes. I think I've flown like maybe 50 different kinds of things. In terms of planes?
50 different kind of planes.
Yeah.
And by the way, and FYI, he's a bachelor. Just so you know, for the ladies out there, he is a bachelor. I'm putting you in the market. He is a bachelor. If you need to get a hold of him, you're gonna have a hard time getting a hold of him. But he is a bachelor.
Are you now going to put my phone number there too?
I think I'm gonna start a new company, Tinder, in India, and start. Who knows? We can do the Tinder of India. And
Tinder is successful everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. One of the things that's really interesting is you said you and your brother literally, if you guys are in the same place, you'll stay at the same house.
Yeah, we share everything. So when we were kids, we decided, when we were really small, we decided we'll always share everything, and we've always shared everything. It doesn't matter who builds what and who works on what. In our minds, we co-own everything, and we'll always continue that because we've always been close.
Girlfriends, though. I mean, when you come back,
so we don't share
girlfriends.
You
gotta cross the line.
No.
Yeah.
So when I say share everything, that does not include girlfriends. No.
I just want to make sure disclaimer out there. Some brothers said we gotta share.
No.
If there was one thing that can be done to minimize the amount of slums that are in India, what do you think that would be? I know you're a big education guy, but if there was one thing that could be, what would it be?
When people talk about education, they're like, oh, schools are so expensive and I'm spending all my money there, I'm not getting a return. I don't mean education in that form. I think schools are great. At least in India, they're a lot cheaper. By education, I mean learning. If we can run more and more government programs, and there are many already, which still have a very large population, so it takes time to solve the problem. If we can figure out how to use technology in smarter and smarter forms to make it cheaper and more efficient to teach these people skills, because we have an incredible asset. We have more people than most countries. Now, when you have more people, you can do more with them because they can produce more economic value. But they can produce more economic value if they have skills to produce more economic value because they've been taught those skills. I mean, I didn't grow up knowing everything. It took me a long time to learn stuff. But it's because I had access. And even though I didn't grow up rich, I still had more access than several people do in slums. The more access that we can create for at least the people that want to learn and have that passion, because lots of them do, right? If we can figure out how to grow that, then it's a multi-generational change, right? Because if one generation educates itself, learns, gets itself out of poverty because now they can make a whole lot more with the knowledge that they have, then their next generation and their future generations are going to be incrementally better.
Imagine you're living with a purpose that clear like he had, and in that specific moment, you're not 100% on what's going to happen, but you got that high level of faith that the people ended up buying into what he thought was possible. Faith. He had a certain level of faith. When he passed away like this. And you said his friend shot him? His good friend shot him? His friend shot Gandhi? What a way to go. Your friend shoots you and you still thank God for the life? I don't know. That's enlightenment at a whole different level.
big round of applause for none other than Patrick Bet-David for his talk.
Do we have any Valuetainers in the house? I love it, I love it, I love it. Ye patlum, Englistani, sarpelal, topi Rusi, and I finish it. Firbi dil hai Hindustani, right? My shoes are from Japan, my pants are, I think, from England, because at that time it was England. My hat is from Russia, but my heart is from Hindustan, which is India, right? So the experience I've had in life, I think there's a different message I can give to you that maybe slightly shift the way you think, possibly, especially with what's going on with your economy right now in India, as fast as it's growing. And I am up here, you're the judge, you're the jury, I'm an attorney. I'm gonna make a case to you today why I believe 100% of world's problems are gonna be solved by entrepreneurs. I fully believe this. Which country you think in the world today offers the bigger opportunity? US or India? What do you think? Your professors have done a very good job, by the way. Okay, everybody. Who says India? Raise your hand if you say India. Why do you think India offers a better opportunity? So here's some numbers about India. 6th largest economy. You know, they can compete for the number 2 or the number 1 economy in the world. I firmly believe India can compete for the number 1 economy in the world. I firmly believe that. And I'm from America. And by the way, I'm a proud American. I'm a very proud American. Number 3, you have the largest democracy in the world. You are the largest democracy in the world. We can go to the next one. Largest producer of movies in the world. I mean, I know your songs here, right? I'm singing your songs from your movies. It's the number 1 English-speaking country in the world outside of America. You have 1.2 billion. America has 330 million, give or take. You have 4 times the amount of people that we have in America. By the way, who here has access to YouTube? Raise your hand if you have access to YouTube. Okay. Who here has access to Google, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, any of that stuff, right? You have an access to a university like this. You're producing minds. In America, we import engineers from you, by the way. We love your engineers. What if those engineers are not going to America? What if those engineers are starting here? What if those engineers are figuring out a way to increase your level of impact around the world? They say, at what percentage does motivation to create and produce go lower? 34%. Taxes, we say, I'm not going to work that hard anymore. Innovation slows down at 34%. So I got 3 challenges for everybody. We'll go into the Q&A session. Number 1 is, how will you help India become number 1 in GDP? Imagine if everybody leaves this place saying, how can we make number 1 GDP in the world, India become number 1 GDP in the world? What will that do to you? Everybody here is going to advance with their families. Number 2, how will that help the world economy? You realize Walmart employs 2.2 million people. 700,000 employees don't work in America. 700,000 jobs are outside of America. Last but not least, what social issue will you contribute to improving in India? I think if we put those 3 things to be thinking about, a nation that becomes united about a vision collectively together, and you sit there and keep talking about, let's make the millions, let's make the billions, but let's come together and one by one solve all the social issues we have in America. And you can pick and choose which ones are close to your heart. Figure out a way to connect with other people that also want to do something about that. And then 5, 10, 15 years from now, you look back and say, I cannot believe engineers from America, engineers from China, engineers from Japan are moving their families to India. Can you imagine if that happens one day to your country? Now that'll be something exciting to strive for, but that'll happen if the folks that are here, you leave and you start questioning everything that seems impossible to you, and you say, somehow, some way, I'm gonna figure out a way to make this thing happen. Thank you so much, everybody.
So we just got done right now. We're in Mumbai, India right now. We just finished the session with IIT East Summit 2018, which had 5,000 people there in the audience. I think the 25th most powerful woman in the world was speaking on stage. We just finished up right now. And one of the things that's so impressive about this group here, it's such an amazing upside that you're gonna see, is how innocent, how hungry, how curious they were about information. Like, literally, I couldn't believe the level of enthusiasm to want to learn. And when I say this, sometimes you listen to this and a person says, Pat, you know, I'm pretty hungry. I have enthusiasm to learn. I don't think at this level. I remember the first time I had access to information and somebody was willing to teach me business. I was like a little kid in a candy store. I couldn't take enough of it. You know, I'd be there on an event that took 6 hours. I'd stay 6 more hours just because I wanted to go talk to everybody. I remember how thirsty, how hungry, how curious, how interested. And that is still today. And these guys have it at 1.2 billion people in India like this. That's amazing to me. And so the question to ask yourself is, how thirsty, how hungry are you for information? The bullies in high school, they are this big compared to the bullies of business. There are some real bullies in the business world. And so if you can't handle a bully in high school, you are gonna be so soft in the business world, they're gonna crush you emotionally. So I'm glad it happened to me, because in the business, it
last month I
happens all the time. Just relax a little bit, right? And I wasn't gonna relax a little bit, because that's not how I am. But I had to ask what you wanted and position you in a better place than other people were. So I can get the most of you and you can enjoy the process. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. On a leadership standpoint, I forced a lot of people in my 20s, and in my 30s, I realized to give you options. And I asked so many questions from you, and then I realized, nope, this guy doesn't want it that hard. No problem. Do this at this point, because you're like, I'm Pat, I'm happy. I don't need to do a lot. Then I have him over here who has 6 years less experience than you. But he comes earlier, he leaves later, he asks me 20 freaking questions a day. It's annoying, but he's improving, he's getting better, he's hustling. I can build, and he believes in me, he believes in the company, he believes in what we're trying to do. I'm gonna invest my money into him long term. So I learned the difference between power and influence. I learned force and influence. I trust principles. What's principles? Hard work works in every country. Yes? It does. Yes. Reading books works in what countries? Every country. Every country, right? Wanting to improve works where? Everywhere. Having a proper diet works in what country? All countries. Taking care of yourself and staying clean works in what country? Every country. Learning how to deal with people works in what country? That's what I bank on. That's what I bank on. Now let me give you the other side. You ready to the other side? Yeah. Does prostitution exist in every country? Yes. Yes. Do crimes exist in every country? Yes. Do arguments exist in every country? Yes. Do divorces exist in every country? Yes. Do bankruptcies exist in every country? Yeah. So principles and bad habits are everywhere. There's pride in their country, there's pride in their people, there's pride in their community. They wear their flag with pride. Man, watch the Leaders Bulletin next 10, 20 years, what India's gonna do. If they can keep the system of capitalism alive in India, you're gonna see some of the greatest innovators, CEOs, entrepreneurs, businesses be founded here.